went and found a counsellor, and yeah, I had a couple of sessions with him. Well, I had quite a few sessions, but it was in the second session I just kind of sort of this light bulb moment where I just realised what I'd been doing. It was the first insight that I had of why I'd been living the way I'd been living and what I'd been doing and the reason why I had been treating myself, because I started talking to him for the first time about what had happened to me as a kid, and it was the first person that I'd ever talked to really about it, and the feedback I got was, that's not right, that's not normal. For me it was just, well, it was just what happened, and perhaps I deserved it, and perhaps it was normal, and perhaps it was okay, you know. But he was the first person that reflected back to me, no, that's not okay. It's understandable that, you know, that's why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. I realised, right, time to move into a house. I need somewhere safe where I can start doing the work I need to, because I began to see there was stuff I needed to do, you know, inside myself. And I realised that I wanted to get married because I wanted to show commitment to my partner, and I wanted to show commitment to my son, that I wasn't just going to walk away when it got tricky. Yeah. And I decided I wanted to start helping people. I wanted to be able to do what the counsellor had done for me.
Wow.
It was sort of the first time that I felt I'd experienced love.
Wow.
In the way he just held me in his gaze, he just looked deep inside me and just listened with such intensity and such compassion, while I just kind of spilled out all this stuff that I'd never spoken about before. So I did those things. Got married, moved into a house, and signed on at the college to do a counselling qualification, not really knowing what I was going to do with it or where it was going. It was just that stepping stone in the mist. It was like I just knew that that was what I needed to do. And then things got really bad because for the first time talking about what had happened to me as a child, the disease manifested in my body for the first time as I took the stopper off that bottle of all that emotional pain. Yes. I got really, really ill. Yes. Coupled with 10 years of neglect and drug abuse and just eating out of dustbins and not looking after myself at all, not brushing my teeth, etc., etc. I would say that 20 years on, I'm still recovering from that. You know, not 100%. There have been waves, you know, in the last 20 years, but there's waves of kind of, when my body is ready, it releases some more of the trauma. It's handleable. And all the time what's happening in the background is I'm just doing my best to be able to make more and more of a positive difference in the world, and that's what fuels me, and that's what lights me up, and that's how I get my kicks. And nothing touches me more than when a young person comes up to me after a talk. I did a talk recently in some, a hostel for homeless young adults, and the boy came up to me afterwards. He's 17 years old and said, you know, I just can't tell you how much your story has touched me. He said, I've given my drugs to my project worker, I'm throwing them away, I don't need them anymore. My life starts today. Because he could begin to understand who he was and where he was coming from. And I don't think we tell kids this enough. If we just shared our story, they can relate to it in their own way. They don't need me to psychoanalyse them, or, you know what I mean, or explain the theory behind it. It's just I share my story and they go, that's why I'm feeling like this, and this is what's happening. And it's the beginning of something for them, you know. It's the beginning.
Miguel, you're a very powerful being. You're a very powerful being.